All right. Car's fired. I no longer have to listen to Dave Moan tell cow jokes. Or try to confuse dairy with dairy.
Which one?
Just the other one.
There you go.
Here comes Jim Blake. You like big burnouts? Jim Blake likes big burnouts. At least he did last time. Wow. How about Rick Bell going neener, neener, neener? Is that going to start a thing? We're going to have the Division I top dragster burnout contest?
We did that with Top Sportsman one time, and it ended badly.
So Jim Blake sits number 24. Rick Bell sits number 20.
Hey, Al.
Oh no, what? I know I'm going to be sorry I asked this. What, Dave?
Why do cows have hooves instead of feet?
Why do cows have hooves instead of feet? I don't know, Dave.
Because they lactose.
Because they lactose. Wow. Why did the division director cross the road?
I don't know.
Go over there and I'll tell you. Rick Bell goes 668. That's a nice little pickup at 193 miles an hour. It's actually going to put him on the front page. Jim Blake backs up a little bit.
What do you call a cow with a twitch?
What do you call a cow with a twitch?
Beef jerky.
Beef jerky. Lauren Cotrera in the left side. Kenny Moses in the right side. Kenny Moses, the transmission dude. Qualified the number 6 spot right now. Lauren Cotrera sitting number 29, but they don't exactly have that thing on rocket ship mode this weekend because, well, you don't have to. And if you don't have to, why would you? Oh, here comes another loud car. It's going to scare me. See, that first one wasn't so bad. That second one's really scary. 664. 202 for Ken Moses. He's going to slow down about a tenth. Lauren goes 735. She's going to slow down a bunch. You can see the speed was down, only 152 miles an hour. She clicked it off before the stripe. Now it's Carmen Molicella, and it's Al Kenny. Carmen, top 10 player from last year in this part of the world. Kenny, top 3 player in the world last year. Select performance at jegs.com for Team Kenny. We got a couple of Pennsylvania cars here. We'll be headed down towards their neighborhood next week as we go down to the Grove. I think the whole, we're going to have dairy, that's going to be the theme. And you know, .623 for Kenny, 220 miles an hour, slows down a tick. 702 for Carmen, exactly what they ran earlier. If dairy's going to be the theme for the weekend, then day after tomorrow we all get Sunday. Yes. Nancy and Pomponi are the only 2 people working up here. The rest of us are making cow and dairy jokes.
You know why?
Yeah. Greg Kelly and Justin Mason. Maybe you should go back to work, Dan. Justin left on the wrong bulb. Greg waited for the right bulb, and then he goes 667 at 199 miles an hour, slow to tick and 3 miles per, 745 at 173. That's going to make him last qualifier. Is this the last car? I see Top Sportsman back there. Looks like Nick Willard driving one of the TT cars with a Nesbitt and nitrous guzzling big block sitting right behind his head. Currently 728. Currently number 30. Turn on the laughing gas and pick up a bunch. 681 at 195 miles an hour, and that's going to move from 30 to number 21. Frank Zaffaro ends up number 1. Scott Hall 2 for now. Al Kenny, Craig Machad, your top 4. Fred Perkins, Kenny Moses, Doug Forbes, and Richard Jameson. Your quick 8. Listen up in the pits. Attention in the pits. Lebanon Valley, stock and super stock. Come on down. Remember to have your dial-in clearly visible on the right side racetrack. So if you're stock, super stock, you're still in competition from Lebanon Valley, dial them up and head this direction, please. I have just decided for Christmas I'm going to get Dave Moan a cow, and I'm just going to ship it to his house and let him explain it.
Yeah, the house, not the office.
Oh, no. If it went to the office, he wouldn't have to explain it to Jody. If it went to the house, that'd be much better.
You want to let him go, or you want to wait and take him leave?
Hey, guess what's right straight from my house?
What's right across the street from your house?
Dairy farmer.
Good. Then I won't have to pay delivery charges on a cow. I'll just buy one, tell them, take it across the street, tie it to the mailbox. All right, here comes our first pair. Tommy Tape, Top Sportsman. The Corvette for Campbell Supply. And Carl Giuliano. In the Camaro with an almost 800 cubic inch big block. I often read these things and I'm curious. If the motor's 781 cubic inches, why stop there? John Emirati went 805 in the first session, went 205 miles an hour, but that thing like rattled the tire, had to pedal it. Trust me on this, it'll go quicker than 805. Carl Giuliano with a 706 from the blue, white, and black machine. Cedric Bailey was number 1 at 624. Our 6-second Cool Kids Club has got 14 members, and Mike Sullivan just missed it by that much. 0.03 of a second. He doesn't get to be in the treehouse. You got to be in the 6 seconds if you want to be in the treehouse club or the dairy club. Okay, John went in, dove on both bulbs, went oops. I know better than that, backed out, so we'll start the procedure now. And our first pair, Tommy Tape Top Sportsman. Ready, set, go. .677 for John, 209 miles an hour. Carl left first, so that made it closer than you would think at the stripe, but his 710, not an improvement. Carl stays number 18. John jumps up to number 5 at 6.775 and gets invited into the treehouse. 15 members now in the club. Rich LaChapelle, left side, Alex Thompson, right side. Now, here's the deal. It's a 32-car field. 785 is the bump spot. We had 37 cars take a time in that first session. So you're going to have to earn your way into this baby. Alex Thompson's car sounded a little bit funny there coming out of the water box. And he's not qualified yet. The Corvette over here on the right side. On the first qualifying lap. Only went 110 miles an hour. You're going to have to go faster than that to qualify. And here's the situation for all of the Tommy Tape Top Sportsman guys. Say that 3 times fast. There is a scheduled third qualifier for tomorrow. But anybody that's got a smartphone or a computer or has been paying any attention knows there's the potential for weather tomorrow. And if we get bad weather, well, we could end up setting the field tonight, and all of the racers know that. We have every intention of running that third qualifying session tomorrow, but if Mother Nature takes care of business for that, well, you better make sure you're good tonight. Thompson's car, when the parachutes came out, turned sideways, and it went over and pancaked the wall down there. It looks like he's got it under control at the top end of the racetrack. But Thompson went 714, went 186 miles an hour when the parachutes came out. They kicked the tail of that thing to the left, and it went over and definitely saw the dust up down there where it sure appeared from this angle like he touched the concrete. At the very least, we're going to have to hold up, check on him, and probably run a blower down at the top end and kick whatever debris might have been kicked up off the racetrack. Now, after the car came off the wall, it certainly appeared that he was back in control of it, but the parachutes just turned the tail sideways, and man, when that happens to you at 186 miles an hour, you are just hanging on. The good news, the 714 moved Alex up to number 21, assuming that the car isn't damaged. 746 for Richard LaChapelle. That puts him number 30 right now. And that puts him kind of in the danger zone. So they're checking on AJ at the top end of the racetrack, and word we get down there is that all is well, but the car is certainly scuffed up a little bit. They are going to make a pass down there and blow any debris off the racetrack, and then we'll dive right back into it. But that thing everything looked fine until the parachutes came out. And when the parachutes kicked the car sideways, he was literally along for the ride. Hey, listen up in the pits. Sorry, Dirks. Stock and Super Street. Lebanon Valley, Stock and Super Street. We need you lanes. Word comes from the top end of the racetrack. All is well. Send the next pair. So David Powell Sr. and David Powell Not Sr. I'm going to head down the racetrack right now. A Mercury Cougar. Wow, you don't see a lot of those around. That's the yellow car over here for Junior. Senior and the Shelby over there on the left side. They're both in the field right now. 711 for Junior, 195 the speed, 730 for Senior at 190. Junior will stay number 19. Senior will move up to 24, picks up a spot by picking up a little bit of performance. Cedric's still number 1. You're going to have to run a 6-second run if you want to be on the front page. And we'll bring up David Crafts and Alan Davidensky. I really like Kraft's car. The big old 900 cubic inch motor, electronic fuel injection. And David Owski with that little bitty 674 incher. Kraft's cars. This is Dave's business. Kraft out of Lisbon Falls, Maine. It's not next door to a dairy, Dave. You're just going to keep doing this till the cows come home, aren't you? Now, David Kraft's in the right lane's in the number 31 spot. He only went 747 at 162 miles an hour earlier. You know that's not safe. That's not going to help. That thing like went whomp whomp when it left. I mean, exactly like that. 734 is going to pick him up a little bit. 687, not going to help David Owski. But 734 is actually going to help David Crafts. He ends up 26th now. Which I'm not saying is safe, but it's, well, better than he was before. The bump spot that you see down there belongs to Hong Lee at 752. Now, Brian Conroy on the left side, Gerard Michelet on the right side, neither one made a good run in the opening pass, so we should swap the bump spot here a little bit, or a lot of bit. In order for both of them to get in, they're going to have to run better than Rich LaChapelle's 746. If they do, they'll bump out Richard and Hong. Then they'll have to earn their way back in. Gerard Michelet, the Corvette. How about the ghosted flames on that thing? That thing is really sweet. And the GTO of Brian Conroy, they both need to step it up right now. And they are both stepping it up right now. 694 for the Corvette, 749. 749 is not going to be good enough. 694 is going to put Michelet up in the number 14 spot. 16 people now in the 6th club. Bump spot is now Rich LaChapelle at 746. Brian 749 comes up 3 hun short. Larry Willard. There's a lot to like about that car. The 57 Chevrolet that has basically standard dimensions. Maybe not exactly standard, but close to standard. And Cedric Ballou, here's your number 1 qualifier with the twin turbo 500-inch Dodge in the LeBaron. LeBaron actually means the king. Whoa, hang on. Hang on, both. Man, you really heard the tire squall out there. Willard's car picked the nose up and hung a left. Cedric chattered a tire out there about 100 feet, and it looked like something may have been coming out of it, and we're going to like hold up here. We'll go out and take a look at the racetrack. Neither driver gets down the racetrack, but both are already in. Cedric, number 1, he obviously is safe. Larry Willard is number 28. And I believe Cedric just broke the rear end. If I heard that right, he said gear oil. So Cedric, when he went out there and chattered, apparently broke the rear end. And gear oil is no fun to clean up. But we're going to have to do it. So we'll get everybody on it. We'll get that taken care of. Hopefully we got our Lebanon Valley stock and super streeters in the staging lanes. But it's going to be a bit of a cleanup operation here. So we'll let our safety team get after it, both the Division I folks and the New England Dragway team. They'll jump right on it and get that lane squared away as quick as we can. We'll dive right back into it. We still got a lot of racing left to go tonight, including final qualifying for the alcohol cars. I'm going to start that over.